All right. What do you get tempted with, Pastor Joseph, Dr. Demon?
What do I get tempted with?
Yeah.
It's funny. I was actually talking to the guys in my band group about this yesterday morning. My band group. So a couple guys, we all meet together and confess to one another. Okay. And one of the things that I feel like for me is things that are like I have a temptation to want to hide things, keep things hidden.
Okay.
It's crazy because I see that like all the way.
And that's all I'm going to say about that?
So I'm going, we'll keep that right there. And so, because I see that all the way back to like when I was a kid.
Okay.
Right? Like, so I can remember like when I was a little kid, and maybe we've all done this, okay? But like, you know, like when you get a like I remember when I was in elementary school, you get like papers back or, you know, grades back, even report cards back, and you have to have a parent sign it. I don't know if you ever had that.
Yep.
Like, and a parent had to sign it, and then you submit it back.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, well, you know, report cards, they're mostly mailing to the house, whatever. You know, again, this is when I was in school, right?
Yeah.
This is before I'm checking it online. Like there is no online to check. Okay.
You're failing.
Right. And so like, but like, I remember like, I went through this thing of like a few times in a row, like forging my dad's signature and trying to get away, you know, with a bad grade. And so like, I look back at it, like things like that when I was in elementary school, but like, it's been this like pattern in me of wanting to try to save face, of wanting to try to, you know, and some of it's because I don't want to get like, I don't want to be, like I don't want to let my dad, for example, like that, like I didn't want to let my dad down that I had made bad grades, you know, like I wasn't actually as like nervous about, you know, it wasn't even the consequence of it. It was just more of I didn't want to disappoint him, you know? It's like, so and I feel like I just kind of did those kind of things and I still have a tendency to do that.
All right. So what'd you hide recently?
So I had recently?
Hid recently.
Hid. What have I hidden? Hid.
Hoed.
That's definitely not it. For me, like one of the things that even for me, like trying to hide, okay. is, and I'll pick a few different things that hopefully people can relate to, connect with. And so one of the things that I'm like really trying to deal with is getting like my blood sugar under control. Okay. And so if I'm at my worst, at Joseph's, like when I'm just kind of left to my own devices, right? Then one of the things I will do is I'll like not worry about that, you know, or I'll worry about that in front of people, like at the house, that kind of thing. But then when I'm driving here to record a podcast or when I'm driving, you know, wherever, like, oh, I need to stop and get gas and let's also get something there to eat that I shouldn't eat, right? Like, and that may sound like really simple, but it's creating these patterns or behaviors of hiding. Okay. And I think anytime, like, so for me, I'm tempted to do that. Okay. And it can create unhealthy things in me, whether that is, you know, physically, whether that is financially, whether that is, you know, sexually with what I'm looking at, you know, all of those things you try to keep those things kind of like hidden. Okay. And by far, this was one of my bigger issues when I had pancreatitis and I was had this really strict diet, you know, and it was just like, good Lord, sometimes I just want to have something that has a little fat to it, you know, but then it would trigger a pancreatic attack and my wife would be like, why are you having a pancreatic attack? And I'd be like, you know, probably the double cheeseburger I had yesterday, you know, like, got me. So, you know, and you want some? And so it's like that. And so like, or even like the hidden, like trying to hide, oh yeah, like I'm good with Jesus. I'm good with the Lord. I'm growing in the Lord. I'm just, you know, like,
but you're not.
I am.
It's because you sin all the time.
It's because I sin all the time. Yeah, we talked about that last week. Yeah. All right. So But, like, all right, yeah, my time with the Lord, for me, my time with the Lord needs to be more consistent.
Okay.
Like I need to have more quiet daily time with the Lord that's more consistent.
Your time with the Lord is actually cheeseburgers?
Cheeseburgers in paradise. But, I think that's one of the things that, like, I feel like, again, I can look back and go, there's this pattern to want to hide, and by hide, I mean, not only just like not revealing, but actually coming across as something different. Right?
Okay.
Oh yeah, like people ask me how are you doing with your dieting and Melanie's making all these great meals. I'm doing great with my eating for meals.
So you hid and you lied.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it can lead to both.
Okay.
Yeah, actually the phrase I used was hide and deceive.
Okay.
And I do think
that's the same thing. Just you said it different.
Yeah.
So,
well, and so yeah, and but that's the words I used, right? Like. And I think that if we're not careful, that we all have these patterns or these things that we're tempted to do. And for me, I think the idea of like hiding is not unique to. I know it's not unique to me because I know it's not unique to mankind. Because what is the first thing Adam and Eve did after they sinned? They covered themselves, right?
They hid.
And so the idea of hiding, and so. I do think that's been a thing probably across humanity, and what I'm trying to get to is going where we don't hide things, right? Like, and I think the idea of living in the light is a pretty big deal. And when I was a young pastor, someone shared this verse with me, and I'll just read it for us here. And so in Ephesians chapter 5. It said, everything exposed by the light is made visible. It's verse 13 and 14. So everything exposed by the light is made visible. For what makes everything visible is light. Therefore it is said, get up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. And I think often we want to keep things, again, hidden. Well, when we keep things hidden, we keep them in darkness. And when things are kept in darkness, that's the kingdom of Satan. Okay. That's where he has power, and that's where he has rule, and that's where he invokes shame, and that's where he invokes guilt, and that's where he invokes, manipulation. And so to bring out those things and to bring them into light, which is like what I was trying, or not trying, but which is what I did with my band brothers, and obviously doing now, is trying to bring these things out, right? And because I know that I in myself am not above. I have to know that I'm not above falling into like horrendous, sinful acts that can destroy not only my life, ministry, but impact lives of others as well, right? Like, so, another individual just this last week, came out having a Christian, leader came out with, 8-year affair. And it was just like,
what?
Yeah. Philip Yancey. I don't know if you've heard of
8 years?
8 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And so he had a 8-year affair that's just come out. And it's just like, and of course, my initial reaction was like, I'm mad at him because it's like, dadgummit, another Christian, leader. And you just get so frustrated with this. But then it's like, as my wife and I were talking, it was like, yeah, but it wasn't like he just had the affair. I mean, he had the affair for 8 years, but it was like, but what was all transpiring prior to that?
Oh. And
it was like, what are all the things that were feeding into his life that created that environment and the ability to do that, And so, and that's why I'm saying, like, the idea of hiding and deceiving, and it's like, it could be simple little things right now, but that can turn into something much larger down the road.
Okay.
If we don't bring them into light and allow them to be exposed and allow Christ to shine in these places and begin a place of not just healing, but freedom as well.
So all the other pastors said they did the same thing, right? Because that seems like a pastor thing to do. Is hide any time that you do anything that you're not supposed to because you don't want everyone talking about you and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I think all of us as pastors want to try to put up a good front. Right. We want to try to present that it's all together, it's all nice packaged. It's not. You know, like it's not for any of us.
And you'll never tell me. Because it's all hidden.
It's all in it. Yeah.
I'll figure it out.
All right.
Or
great.
the Lord will.
Well,
you're exposed, though, because you do it all the time.
Yeah.
You can't get out of it. So
No.
I'm going to keep bringing that up.
Thanks.
I'm offended by everything you do.
Well, thanks.